At the start of the film, we are shown a world surrounded by a firestorm. This is because many asteroids have collided with the Earth from the sky. As a result, the firestorm is so dangerous that it can engulf an entire country in just a minute. This storm started from the North Atlantic. One by one, firestorm wrapped all the countries in flames, with Australia being the last. It will take 12 hours for this storm to reach there, but even the people of Australia have no way to save their lives. At most, they can only fulfill their last wish at this time. Similarly, we meet a lad named James, who lives in Australia, the main character of our movie, who was with his wife Zoe at this time. He also knows that they are going to die soon. He and Zoe spend some time together, after which James decides to go to a party and enjoy the last hours of his life. Although Zoe wanted James to stay with her at this time, before dying, they spent some time near the beach, but James wanted to go to the party anyway, because his girlfriend was waiting for him there. Even after hearing about James's girlfriend, Zoe doesn't say anything to him, because what difference does it make now? Soon they are going to die. Zoe once again says this and tries to stop him. James, I am pregnant. James is shocked for a while, but still leaves in his car. On the way, it is seen that James was drinking a lot, maybe because he was not able to accept the situation yet. Not only him, but everyone was in this state. Most people were not able to understand the situation, and those who understood, they wanted to do their will in the last moments of their lives. In such a situation, aggressive people who did not do a lot of things due to fear of the police and law, they all came out on the streets. Everyone remembered their revenge. The one who wanted to kill didn't hide it. Even the children's corpses were left lying on the ground. Families are running to ask for help. Houses are being burnt. People are forced to kill their children and compelled to take their own lives because it has become too difficult for them to endure 12 hours of their lives in chaos. They don't want to see any other trouble before they die. Seeing all this, James keeps driving his car, but when he goes a little further, he finds the road closed by a car. Before he chooses another way, a man sits in his car and puts a knife on his neck. James says, if you want this car, you can take it but leave me. But this man says, you keep driving the car. That crazy man was following a man in front of him. As he sees the man, this man gets out of the car and mercilessly ends the man with a knife. I don't know what revenge he had to take from this man. James knew that after it, that crazy man would also end James. To save his life, he leaves his car and runs away from here. That man was also chasing him like crazy, but James managed to hide under a car while running, saving his life. The car he was hiding under, he could have run through it, but unfortunately this car was locked. Suddenly he saw that a van had stopped in front of him. Two men took a girl out of it. They must have kidnapped her, and they were forcibly taking her inside the house to abuse her. The girl was screaming at him. James had nothing to do with this girl. He wanted to run away from here with the van in front of him, but the child's crying and screaming kept him from moving forward. Now he picks up a hammer from their van and goes inside the house. He had ended the first man with his hammer, but it was not easy to end the second man. This bodybuilder, on the contrary, pinned James down, before he could end James by strangling him with a stick. James not only gets himself released by using his brain, but also saves the girl by hitting the head of the man with the hammer in his hand. The girl is named Rose. He tells Rose, sit in the van quickly. We have to run away from here. This place is not safe, he said. The girl was afraid to get into the van. She did not trust James anymore. Then James explains to her that if she stays here for a long time, he cannot guarantee her safety. Hearing this, the girl sits in the van and they leave from here. Rose says she and her dad were going to her aunt's house where their whole family was going to gather. They had promised that they would spend their last moments together, but on the way, the fuel of her dad's car ran out. When her dad went to get fuel, these evil people kidnapped him. Rose tells James, please take me to my aunt's house. My dad told me that even if we separate from each other, then you come there. We want to spend our last moments together. James wanted to help this girl, but he could not do it because his aunt's house was in the other corner of the city. But where James needed to go for himself, the party he was attending was in the other part of the city. Even more important was that there was not so much fuel in the car, that he would have taken this girl to his aunt's house safely and would have gone to the party himself. He had to find a way in between. That's why he asks Rose, "Where did your dad's car break down?" He hoped that he would find this girl's dad there, to whom he would hand over the girl and go to the party himself. But unfortunately, he did not find Rose's dad even after coming here. James gets angry and tells this girl, "Look girl, I can't take you with me, but yes, I have a way. My sister lives nearby, she also has 3 daughters. You will be safe there, and you will like it there. I will leave you there." When Rose says yes, he takes her there, but now he did not like anything here either because his house was unlocked and no one came there to knock on the door. When he went to the stairs, there was water coming from above. Felt something wrong. As he went up, he found out that his sister and her husband had died, and before committing death, he had also ended all 3 of his daughters and buried them outside the house. James was completely broken at this time. Now losing control of himself, he quickly comes out of the house and taking his sister's car, he was leaving from here. That's when Rose also came and sat in his car and he didn't say anything. On the way, he saw that a police officer had come to the library with a family in his car. James thinks, why not give Rose to this police officer? So he also goes inside the library with Rose. As he went there, he became numb to see that the police officer had also come here to end himself along with his family. He requests James, "Please do us a favor. You end us," but James was not able to do this. Upon James's refusal, this police officer says, "Okay, so just give me this little favor. Tell me that whatever I am going to do, you have forgiven me for." James also says this and goes out of the library with Rose. After it, this police officer ends himself along with his entire family. James now had no other way, so he comes to the party with Rose. This party was being held inside the secure gates. He got the entry because the host of the party was his friend and his friend's sister was actually James's girlfriend. There was also no good atmosphere in the party. People were dancing like crazy in intoxication, as if they were forgetting the sorrow of death. Many people had died due to an overdose of intoxication. In all this environment, Rose was feeling uncomfortable, so she holds James's hand tightly, and then a girl comes behind him. This girl was calling Rose by another name. This girl's mind is not in good condition. It seems that her daughter might have gone missing. And she was looking for her daughter in Rose. Somehow, James manages to get this girl to leave Rose and takes her with him, eventually finding his girlfriend in the pool. Now they leave Rose in the pool and go to the room. Here James's girlfriend wanted to have fun, but James had no such mood. His mood was very dark and was deeply depressed because he had just witnessed so many deaths, including his sister's. He tells all this to his girlfriend, but his girlfriend doesn't pay attention to all this and says, "Why are you telling me all this? Look, this is the last time in life and I don't want to hear such thing." James felt bad after seeing her cold behavior, and he realized for the first time that when Zoe gave him such big news, he ignored her. She must have felt hurt. Then when James's mood is off for a long time, this girl takes James to a bunker. There was a lot of food and some beds in this bunker. This girl says, "Look James, we will live in this bunker. This bunker has food for a year and all the facilities that a person needs to live. Now even if the world is destroyed, we will hide in this bunker." This girl was probably crazy. James tells her, "Stay alert. This firestorm that's coming, we can't escape it so easily. Even if you make a bunker thousands of meters below the ground, this firestorm will still end you." Hearing this from James's mouth, this girl also got scared meanwhile. Her brother also came here. We found out that this girl was afraid of death. That's why her brother lied to his sister, so that at least she wouldn't panic before the world ended. And now because James told this girl the whole truth, that's why this girl's brother, James's friend, is after him to end him. James ran out to save his life. As he went out, quickly found Rose with whom he wanted to leave as soon as possible. She was vomiting in that girl's hand, whom she considered her daughter. Actually, Sarah had given her drugs, which was the reason for Rose's condition. James scolds Sarah a lot here and he starts running with Rose. That girl is after him to take Rose, and now his friend comes in front of him. Poor James was stuck. There was no way out. James's friend had a gun in his hand, with which he would end James in a minute. James's girlfriend took the gun from his hand. After it, she pointed the gun at James. She put her hand on the trigger, pressed the trigger, and the bullet was fired. Fortunately, it didn't hit James because she had not shot James. She shot Sarah standing behind, who wanted to stop Rose here. Now the girl says to James, "Go, You are free because now she too had accepted her death somewhere. Without wasting time, James comes out with Rose. He wanted to leave quickly while sitting in his car, but the roads were blocked from all sides. Now he walks forward, moving ahead. On the way, he finds a taxi in which James takes Rose to his mother's house. At the last moment, James's mother was happy to see him here. She hoped that James would definitely come to meet her, although this was not included in James's plan. Even if fate brought James here, but his mother's hope did not break. James tells his mother all about his efforts to get the girl to his aunt's house. His mother says if you are working for this girl in the last time of your life, then you are doing very well. God will definitely reward you for this. Here his mother also asks him about his sister. On it, James lies to her that no, I did not meet her. He did not want his mother to get a big trauma in the last time. After meeting his mother, he goes to his aunt's house to leave Rose, and when he reaches there, he does not see anyone. In the nearby forest, James sees many corpses, and one of those corpses was also Rose's father. Seeing this, he broke down. He did not dare to give this news to Rose. He told Rose that everyone died with your dad. Hearing this news, Rose also goes crazy. She did not believe James's words either. She wanted to see everything with her own eyes, but James stops her here and then covers his dad's corpse in a cloth and brings it in front of him. Because he doesn't want such a small girl to see so many dead people. Seeing her dad dead, Rose was also very sad. She started crying, and seeing all this, James also becomes sad. James says, your dad is dead, come on, come with me now. But Rose says no, I will stay with my dad because I had promised him that we will be together at the last moment. Hearing this from this girl, tears come to James's eyes. He remembers the time when Zoe was stopping him. James was thinking that this girl is better than him. She wants to live with her loved ones and keep her promises. James also wanted to do one last good thing like her. He wanted to go back to Zoe. That's why he leaves this girl here, but now his eyes were full of tears. Finally, he reached his wife Zoe. Zoe was upset with him. She did not want to meet him, but here, James managed to convince her somehow. Zoe was standing on the beach. They hug each other, and suddenly, a fire moves toward them. Bright light was seen from a distance, and it was clear that the firestorm had now reached them too, engulfing them in the next second. They both died.